Somebody please think of the children!
Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
No, stop. Think of the children.
Think of the children! Won't somebody please think of the children?
Hello people, I want to bring you Days Gone, because the previous director has basically went off on a tyrant, and to be honest, this has been one of my favourite games of the last year. I know it didn't come out last year, but I recently just bought it. I've already put probably about 100 hours into it. Actually, let's give it a check. Days Gone, wasn't I already had it queued up in it? Yeah, so it came out, so it's over a year old. There's not going to be a second one, and I'm a bit disappointed in that, and I can talk about why. I was played 93 EVE, so I lied, not even 100 hours in it. But as you can see, reviews are mostly positive, 92% overall, 91% recently. So it's a massive game, popular as out. It's only a single player linear game though. It's open world, but it is linear, so missions do come and you complete them as you go to unlock the story. But within the open world, you can basically go, explore, do what you want, and it's an underrated game, I feel. I'm glad this came out for PC. I'm glad Sony are doing more stuff like this. It's a shame they're not going to release another Days Gone or Days Gone 2. I think we can pretty much go into the background why within this video. Fans and critics acclaim. Game of the Year, Best Storytelling, Best Visual, winners 2019, Joystick Awards. It's a massive, pretty much, fans love this. These are ones where fans get, where a fan gets to vote on. Except for that, I'm not sure what that is. So that's industry, so they might have so that's an industry award. So it's out on PC, get Steam, Epic, PlayStation. I'm glad they're doing more stuff like this. So quick intro on this. This is Ben Studios, and they do other shit like that. But Days Gone is what I really want to focus on today, because the previous director sort of got thrown under the bus here. So let's start with this. This is a statement from Ben Studio themselves. We are aware of the comments made by our previous creative director on Days Gone regarding his personal views on the critics' reception of our intellectual property. Ben Studios does not share his sentiment, nor does it reflect the views of our team. So you can take it either way, as they're throwing them on the bus, or they're just trying to defend themselves, because shall I show goes now? So just a quick look here. Steam, fan rated, that goes to 9 to 10%, well 9 out of 10. IMDb, people as well, 8.3. IGN, only a 6.5. That stands out. Look, even that is high. So why does that stand out for? I wonder. Alright, so the people's vote, their vote. So critics do have some shit going on. Days Gone, fun is burst, but it's gone repetitive, bland. It does get a bit repetitive, but it's open world. You make your own thing up. Modern story and for unremarkable ride. So that's the critics there. They're not happy about it. I wonder if they're not happy about it because Deacon is the main character. He's a ex-army company artillery, I believe it is, in the thing. Within the storyline you find out. And yeah. So the main character is male. He goes, spoilers. Spoiler alert. Then I'm going to give it. So Deacon is believed to have lost his wife. So to start with, it's him and Boozer. They basically just want to get north. He's depressed, and then a bit on, you find that the government sort of returns in a way, but they're not really. So He finds, so by total coincidence, chance, fortune, pretty much just plot armor, he finds out the same guy that basically took his wife to one of these camps is alive, and he sort of interrogates them, finds out that she could still be alive. Then, by magic chance, he crosses the mountains, finds that she is alive and she's with another camp. So he infiltrates the camp, works with them, works with her, and she is a bio-researcher, which you don't really find out till later on. So I think the reviewers probably played the first... Well, I quite like that. So the reviewers play the first probably hour or so. They probably don't get that far. They think it's probably a sort of damsel in distress situation, which it's not. But reviewers going to review, I guess. So where I was up to, nor does it reflect. So they're probably either covering themselves, which I believe, given the benefit of doubt, is probably the case. Our studio is immensely proud of the work we accomplished on Days Gone, and are thankful for every developer who poured their heart and soul into it. Granted, it's a beautiful game, it's well made, bit buggy here and there, but what are you going to do? For a AAA game to come out like that, granted, it came out PlayStation first and ported over to a PC, so they had more time to work on it before I got it. But it's an immense game, I still love it. We are incredibly humbled by the support of our Days Gone community, and we will continue to share your enthusiasm for our world and characters as we look towards the future. So as it stands, I think from what I've read, don't quote us on this as I've read it, it's coming from third, fourth party, but they were hoping for a Metacritic score of 8.6 or higher to get a reboot, to get the second one. And I think it came in at like 8.3, 8.4, and it's just the brutality of the industry. I think the worst one I've ever had was Bethesda with Oblivion, where so Oblivion had a 7.4 to achieve, and I think they achieved like 7.3 to get a bonus, and Bethesda just flatly refused to pay the bonus. Oh, that was a shock of that one. I don't think there's bad blood between them, but I know that Oblivion had to let stuff go, they had to make massive cuts, because they were, well, it was poor management on Oblivion's part, to be fair. Not Oblivion, that's a game. Obsidian. It was a massive mistake on their part, that they should have managed it better. They shouldn't have to rely on the bonus to then cover the staff's wages and stuff, but it's how the industry is. It's always been cutthroat, it's always been mental. I wish Sony proud of work Days Gone, instead they're trying to make you support the studio. Wait, Dan Albert, but where I was up to. So Days Gone, reviews, and this is what's going on. So last few days, and now it's what I'm going to read, obviously. Days Gone directors come out blasting, blaming meddling reviews on woke reviewers. Which, I mean, if it's basically the career opportunity to make a second one or not, and the reviews are knocked down because they were basically arguing a toss at the time that the character was a male lead, that's a manly thing, it's basically toxic masculinity was a lot of the arguments and bullshit like that, which it, well, sort of is, but it's not. It's about a man going through a depressing stage, get some hope back, and it just plays out right for him. It's basically a rags to riches tale. That's basically a classic from all time, just told with a modern lens. But nope, woke reviewers weren't happy with it, sort of knocked it down. The fans sort of bulked it back up, so that's why these days I've always went from a fan's perspective instead of a review now. The reviewers I mainly listen to now are YouTubers, just because I know they can give a more honest opinion over what these publishers are doing. Okay. So let's get into this, and I've ranted on for 10 minutes now on how much I like the game. It's actually getting to it. Days Gone director John Garvin calls out woke reviews who cannot handle a white male protagonist looking at his date's ass. Yeah, nice. Wait, fuck. Too fast. Wait, where's me up and down? 2 secs. Learn my keyboard. That's more jolly than fucking mouse. Wait, Days Gone director. Days Gone director John Garvin has denounced negative criticism of his game, laying some of the blame on woke reviews who couldn't handle white male protagonists looking at his date's ass. It's fair enough. That's basically what I've said. It's woke reviewers who basically cost this guy a chance to work on a second game. Hopefully Sony comes back to us and picks it back up. With some luck, it sort of sounds like there might be some backroom dealings going on. We'll have to see. But who knows? They might placate the reviewers this time. Honestly though, if they do it like they did the first one, such as put Ricky, switch to Ricky as the main character, could do something there, couldn't you? Because I quite like Ricky overall. In a since deleted tweet responding to a user who asked her how Days Gone didn't get universal praise from critics, Garvin went on to share 3 reasons as why he thought this was the case. That did nothing. What? Must have deleted it. Okay, well, I just read it, for fuck's sake. Read. Garvin went on to share reasons as why he thought it was the case. That included the game had technical issues like bugs, streaming and frame rates, reviewers who couldn't be bothered to actually play the game, and reviewers who couldn't handle the gripe white biker looking at his date's ass. Read. There. That's just your opinion. I didn't mind it. I mean, I preferred it, but read. The buggies, like I said, I came from the PC. They had more time to fix it before it got to me. And reviewers, well, there's some actual proof there that they don't actually play these stuff. Frosk from G4 now. Is G4 gone? G4 must have gone by now. So, reviewers such as that who didn't actually play the game, they had basically backroom writers. They sort of dabbled, but not really got involved, and they just pushed article after article out just to then inflate the numbers to get people on their website. If they can charge advertising bucks. Sort of the death of the media now. Hopefully in the next few years you'll see YouTubers pretty much come up, well, they already are to be honest, and you'll see the death of trash websites. Well-used reviews on Steam and Metacritic are quite positive. Critic scores are slightly lower. I think like 2 points lower. Well, users across PC and PlayStation average 8.6 out of 10. On Metacritic, on critics 73 on 100%. So they're decent numbers to be fair. Like, I reckon 6.8 would push it into getting a new game made. 73 would be consideration at least. Nevertheless, Days Gone has its fair share of scorn. There's some taking issue with the protagonist, Deacon St. John. Katuku Joshua Baveri note in his review that along with a game narrative being directive of a post-apocalyptic genre, Deacon wasn't anything new either. I mean, he was actually quite a fresh out of breath considering his past. So, like I said, he was depressed to start off with, so you have to go through that arc. Then you find out some of his military background, which was fast and didn't take to be honest, and sort of gives him the legitimacy. And then you find out about the biker club and stuff, which is just, you know, fucking tough ass biker. Club was a bit dodgy, doing some dodgy deals here, did some dodgy stuff there. Some of the unlockers type. It was exhausting to watch another. Right there. So this is the Konami report. Read. It is exhausting to watch another gruff white dude express his extreme of humanity brought about by a disaster, to be torn between pure relevant self-interest and fragile strength of the community. See, so he sort of develops into the community person after some time. He has to experience a lot to get to that point, as if it were there were only two ways to be. Right? He added it dumping water into ocean, failing to offer anything new in favour of a blending formulas into argument made by 10 years of Walking Dead and countless post-apocalyptic games. I still disagree with that. I still think it was different. It was a fresh of breath to a genre that has mainly been dominated by Walking Dead and such. VG247 Kurt Meathers compared Deacon to a sexist murderer Batman who wears a black ward cap and biker gang cuts. T-Man. This was partly motivated by Deacon killing bikers, vandalising the church he married in his wife into, and burning it down so it cannot be vandalised further. That was not the point. He burns down the church to cut the final ties. He was going to do it in the first place, just happens the bikers attacked him at the same time. So it was basically a double win for him. Best way of saying it. But basically wanted to forget. He couldn't. So he was going to basically torch something to basically let that frustration out. He was depressed to that point. Why am I arguing the toss? Fucking hell. Polygon. What does Polygon have to say now? Came across a benevolent protagonist of an old school wood warrior. Machino. He was so badly written. Fucking wasn't. At this point, wait, one thing you can't argue, it's that he was badly written. At this point, assembled critics laughed at his lines. It's in the outlet's full review. Ashley Staveley and said Deacon reminded her of at least half a dozen or other video game protagonists. Don't know what she's on. Read. Trying to remember what scene is. Deacon ships up network gang member via. Read. Not really sure. It could be out. Vice. What's Vice's take on this bullshit now? The game tries to present him in a moral complex anti-hero and it doesn't land. What the fuck? Have I just been over this, man? It's the same argument time and time again. The reason is he starts off depressed, then he tries to cut ties, and then he basically joins up with a community and then finds basically what he wanted from the start, and he has to take down the other camp leader to then develop into pretty much what he always wanted from the start. Right. Then he added, it's one thing to present player with a character they're supposed to feel conflicted about, but what I'm supposed to do with a person who says you cannot shoot a woman unless you have it. Oh, right. So he does have a sort of moral compass where you'll shoot a guy, obviously, but you won't shoot a woman unless she's trying to kill him. Can't shoot a woman unless you have to. Pretty much is. Well, that's pretty much introduced me at the start during like a sort of tutorial bit where a woman has a. So you infiltrate a camp to liberate a guy who was kidnapped for a mission because you're sort of like a bounty hunter. So he goes in, cleans the camp out, gets to the antenna, finishes the job off for the guy, frees him, and this woman comes up and puts a rifle to the back of your head. But you can see she obviously doesn't want to, and she's shitting herself. So you basically give her the choice to drop the gun and leave, or you'll put a bullet within her. So she drops the gun and leaves, and then you find out that the rifle wasn't even loaded. So he fucking has a rant on. I don't know. arguing a toss over bullshit. I feel conflicted, but what I'm supposed to do, a person who says he can't shoot a woman unless you have to, while selling a woman he saved to a labour camp. Well, no, but yes. So it's not really like a labour camp. There's a few camps you can take people to. So you got Copeland's, that's sort of a militia. Then you got Ada, is it Ada? Yeah. The labour camp up in the Springs. Can't remember now. Yeah, I believe. And then you got Iron Lake. Oh no, Iron Mike at Brute Lake. Is that right? That's right in my head. So Iron Mike basically takes care of his people well, treats it as a sort of democracy. Everyone gets their own like freedoms to a point, as much as he can really in a post-apocalypse. Copeland is a militia that basically grants freedom to a lesser point, but everyone sort of has to pull their weight. And the Hot Springs is basically a dictatorship where she runs it as you've got to work to eat, which I sort of get, but they obviously pay you the most for it. So they'll pay you the most in cash. Copeland will split cash and respect, and Mike will just give you respect. So it depends on what you basically need to further your game. Right. So while selling a woman later, but it's not just women, you also sell men, and it's not really like it's slave are out. They can leave when they want. Bit of a lie there. They can sort of leave as long as they pay their debts in some places, but in the other two they can leave when they want. He's saved to a labour camp, knowing she'll spend her whole life digging ditches for a tyrant running the place. Pardon me. Tyrant running a place that's female, by the way. Right, in Screen Rants, Deacon is generally unlikable. I like him. Starts off cold, distant, but the more you learn, the more you feel bad for it. Killing plenty of non-freaks in a very Nathan Drake-like fashion. I mean, it's the same people that sort of do it, so you can see the aspect coming in there. Personally, mismatch how they're feeling a little anguish over killing fours, and even the odd quip. I mean, yeah, it's a post-apocalypse game, but I like him. He's, like I said, he starts off distant and then he grows into a community, killing on freaks, or freakers as they call them, instead of zombies. Obviously, you can't call them a zombie, otherwise people will then associate, why not just do what zombie movies do? Right, but yeah, I like him. Character's good. I honestly believe it is, and I think getting voted best storytelling really backs that up. She also takes issue with Deacon committing to his big stick, his post-apocalypse, and even morale against killing unarmed women. The macho man perspective sort of puts a damper on how man of the more interesting side narratives. Well, no, he still pretty much has. So the reason I believe they put the sort of is like the morality within to it is to show he still has a human side of all this shit. He wasn't really a bad guy to begin with. He still wants to keep that now. He still flies the colours of the Mongols. He still wants to have that sort of that authority. He still wants to have the respect, the morality. So I can see it. It's just the story, and it's basically transplanting you into it. Like me now, not living in the post-apocalypse. Hope not anytime soon. Have my morality, and it's sort of one of them games. It's not a proper open world, granted. If you want to go around and butchering women up, feel free. Several critics also took issue with Deacon's romance with Sarah. his deceased wife. Right there, so they probably haven't played it. Mainly heartfelt, not only taking issue with the female character existing entirely to be enabled of the male protagonist's pain, but feels the character would have a non-romantic interest in. So far was weird to begin with, but like it doesn't look like a type A. So Sarah is a bio researcher. Deacon is obviously a biker gang living off basically his veterans. What's it in America? Veteran. Let's just say veterans income, because I'm not sure what it is. I don't actually know if you can live with that, to be honest. I know over here the veterans get crap, and there's a lot of charities that have to help them out. Well, just because it's Christmas, don't forget to help out a veteran. I doubt they get treated any better over your side of the water. But anyway, so basically, if a woman would in fact ever, she would be then proceed to flirting herself off Deacon's bike as soon as the word. So what a nice lady you are doing in a place like this. It was a cheesy line, but it was funny. Leaves his mouth. So, granted, there's a bit of cheesiness now and again, but she does, like, he sort of tries to stand up for her, tries to save her from some hillbillies. So you can sort of see the mentality that should just come from there. You know, you'd like sort of like want to be with a macho guy that can sort of protect you. But anyway, I'm not really a sidekick. I'm not a sidekick, man. If I was a sidekick, I'll be a lot better. I'm not really one of these mind shrinks. So let's crack on. Kristen Stewart writing for UK Guardian. What the fuck is a Guardian said? Currently notes in this review. This romance between Deacon and Sarah is also unconvincing. Why did this cultured scientist fall in love for a charmless, monos fucking man-child is in a backwater basketball cap for a 20-hour story is not enough for the writers just to go with. He's opposite attract. Hey, opposites attract. Read. It's not really that. I said he sort of goes, he saves her. He just spend some time together. Sort of. Plus then, sort of bit elitist, to be fair. So it's basically, why would a scientist, someone who would presumably have a university doctorate, whatever, would fall for sort of one of the mill grunt mechanic? That's a bit elitist. What the fuck? Wait, what's this one? GameSpot. Haven't fucking read that in ages. I don't know if I should be ashamed of this now, but GameSpot used to be my primary source back in the back in the 10s. She felt the flashback scene where just Deacon and Sarah taking about the surface level topics without providing a convincing reason why they should be together. Love will find a way. Sort of an old sap here. But then again, they do go into a deeper sort of aspect where they go into her works and basically his military background, and it's sort of a heart about the tragedy of his sort of platoon, where they get ambushed within Afghan, I believe. And I think it's probably one of the funniest but saddest lines ever. Like, how do you know how hard it is to drown within Afghan? It's basically a desert, and we managed to find the only water source. It's like, fuck's sake, man. That you sort of want to laugh. It sort of takes the humour off the edge a bit. Like I said, the writing's decent. Deacon is a biker, Sarah's a nice girl scientist who's fine, but opposites attract isn't enough to make their relationship. So they haven't played the game, have they? And it just goes on, and yes. No, it doesn't go on and on, but yeah, goes on a bit. Wait, one more or not? My phone's going off now. Fuck it, let's call it a day. But that's a crack. if you can, I recommend playing this game. It might be on a Steam sale at some point. Christmas is coming up. I've already bought the game, so I can't tell. But yeah, I loved it. I've played it. Who knows? It's a class game. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Davyverse.